So Nityananda, welcome back to Meditation is for You. Today's lesson number 16 from Kailasa, Singapore. My name is Manitya Dugananda. You can call me Maduga. And today's 20th of July, 2022. We took a break last week because we celebrated Guru Purnima with Swamiji. And so today we are back with the Meditation is for You. Today we have a very special session. So now let's all sit with the back straight to prepare ourselves to enter into the meditation. So sit in any comfortable meditative posture with the head, neck and spine aligned in one straight line. Bring your awareness to the whole body from head to the toes, your fingertips. Be physically present in this whole body, not just the head, because most of the time you're thinking, so your awareness is only on the head region. But now I'm asking you to infuse your awareness throughout the whole body, even to the toes, the fingertips, all the different parts of the body. Like you're owning this body. Then expand your awareness to the next layer, which is breath awareness, your pranic body, but inhaling very slowly and deeply. So take a deep inhalation. Enter into a gap, a pause. Then exhale fully. At the end of exhalation, another gap. So go on breathing in this fashion, very slowly and deeply, with awareness of the two gaps, the two neutral zones between incoming breath, outgoing breath, and incoming breath. Allow the breathing, your breath awareness to integrate this body-mind to the space of now, the present moment. The breath is a bridge between you and existence. So when you are able to bring awareness at the breathing level, you immediately come back to the present moment. The breath holds the key to experience existence. Settle into the restful awareness in the space of listening, Shravana. Authentic listening, where there is no judgment, nothing from the past, just being aware fully at this moment, so that we can receive what Swamiji is trying to impart to all of us in this session. In that restful awareness, I'd like you to join the palms together in Amajali Mudra, the prayer pose. In our heart center, Anahata Chakra. Let's invoke Swamiji by chanting the Sadguru Vandanam. So if you already know the mantra, you can chant along with me. So let's take a deep breath. Nityanandam Paramasukaram Kevalam Jnanamutim Dvandvatitam Gagana Shatrisham Tattvamasyarilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Savvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Satguruntam Namami. Let's chant the Mahavakya 3 times. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityanandam. So welcome back. Now we have friends from all over the world. Some we have friends from Asia, we have friends from Europe. So we also are also live in quite a few social media now. So a warm welcome to all the friends from joining me on Zoom, and also friends from different social media who are attending this. Well, regular followers now of this meditation is for you. So let's enter into the outline of today's sessions. So today we are going to practice Samadhi, okay? Practicing Samadhi. As you know that Swamiji gave a very, very powerful satsang last night, so I'm just going to reiterate some of the key highlight of why he said we need to practice Samadhi, okay? Before going to the outline, I just want to see Samadhi is the last state or the last limbs of the of yoga. That means after Samadhi, you are basically oneness with the source. Okay, so Samadhi is basically falling in tune with the source. Okay, so why he say that we need to start getting into Samadhi, because in that state we are actually in our original state. Okay, when you're in our original state, any decision, anything you make will always be the right decision. You will not do harm to you or not harm to the world. So you only do good. So let's look at the outline today. So today is a quite fairly long session because I wanted to give the right context of Samadhi. Because this morning I received a message from Swamiji to give the context of Samadhi in this session. Because the technique that I've chosen is actually putting you in Samadhi. Okay, the state of oneness with the source. So before I introduce the meditation, I should establish what is Samadhi, because now that he just spoken and it's still fresh in everybody's mind. So I'm going to give a context of Samadhi. What is the biggest problem for seekers? And then I'm going to touch a little bit on Sastanga Yoga, because the Sastanga Yoga embodies one of the limbs is Samadhi. And then I will define what is Samadhi according to Swamiji's satsang, discourse in the past, and then I will introduce also some of the Shastra Pramana and Apta Pramana, and then of course the meditation technique itself, Aham Brahmasmi. Okay, so this is the meditation technique that we will be practicing today, and then I will give briefly the instruction, then we will enter into this meditation, and then ending with some sharing with everybody. Okay, so that is the outline. Shall we go to the next slide? So practicing Samadhi, Swamiji said that in the satsang, he said practice Samadhi, which is what we all need to do. And because when you enrich the world with Samadhi, also more and more people get to be the frequency, the collective frequency, a collective consciousness will be raised to the next level, the highest level. So whether it's, he said, whether it's the individual problems that you're facing, or the world-related issues, any problem, whether it's economic, social, relationship, all kinds of problems in the whole world, when you are in the Samadhi, practicing Samadhi, it will always show you the best solution. Okay, that's why, because in that space you are most intelligent, because you are closest to the source. In that state, you are all-knowing, all-powerful. So any decision, anything that gets shown to you in that state of Samadhi is always the right solution. Okay, so when you practice Samadhi, everything in your control becomes conscious, powerful, right, and best for you and the whole world. That's why if more and more people are able to be established in the Samadhi, especially he talked about decision makers, right? See, one of the problem the world is facing, a lot of decision makers who's having the power but don't have the state. That's the problem. They are the leader, but they only enjoy the status of the leader, but they don't have the state of the leader. The state of leader is different. The status of leader is different. State means able to radiate leadership consciousness, able to take the responsibility for the entire world, entire humanity. But right now, we have people put into the status as a leader, as the as the head of certain organization or country, but they don't have the state of a leader. That means no leadership consciousness. Understand? So that is very, very worrying. When you have the wrong people sitting in that seat without the intelligence nor the leadership consciousness, whatever decision they make is going to be either selfish or is going to do more harm to the world than good. Right? So that's why he said enrich more and more people to practice Samadhi. Okay, next slide. So here's the thing he revealed in the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali when he was expounding on this Yoga Sutra. He said the biggest problem for many seekers is we go on accumulating knowledge. We read these, we try to, accumulate, but we never really practice. You say, like you try for 3-4 days, after that you just, your interest just wane, then fizzle up. So then he said non-practice is the biggest problem for seekers. It's like so much knowledge you acquire, but you just sit and become lazy or just being, you're not able to prioritize sadhana. Sadhana is, he said, never sacrifice sadhana, because sadhana is very important to maintain not only your health but the space that you are operating, connecting with the being and in the space you operate. So he said, don't let non-practice be the problem and connection with him, because you have to do the sadhana, your daily practice, in order to be able to connect with him. Okay, so a lot of people learn so much from gurus or learn so much from the books, go attend all the different classes, courses, but they never really practice. So that is the greatest problem for seekers. He said, don't fall into this kind of non-practicing, seekers. Sadhana means your spiritual routine. Okay, next. So now I want to touch about Sastanga Yoga. Okay, I'm giving you back the whole context of Sastanga Yoga. Understand, many of us who are accustomed to Yoga Sutra, we were taught the Ashtanga Yoga, the 8 limbs. Okay, now Swamiji clarified that Patanjali is basically an organizer. He basically collated all the knowledge and compiled it into this book called Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. But that was like maybe at least 3,000 years ago. Okay, but Sastanga Yoga was actually the first and foremost, knowledge on yoga was actually given by Sadashiva. He's an Adi Guru, he's an Adi Yogi. The first yogi who walked on planet Earth some 60,000 years ago. Understand? 60,000 years ago, he already landed and he gave this knowledge to the entire world. Okay, so basically, Patanjali is not the source. The source is Sadashiva, Paramashiva. Okay, so that's the first truth you need to understand. So basically, he revealed these 6 limbs called Sastanga. Sastanga means 6. 6 Anga means limbs, parts. Okay, Sastanga means 6. 6 parts of the yoga in this Kirana Agama. See, all the things that Sadashiva revealed are called in the form of Agama. Okay, Agamas are all his original scriptures that he gave to the whole world. Okay, so this is one of the most authentic scriptures on yoga. Okay, so if you want to trace back, this is the original scriptures on yoga. So all the revelation that Paramashiva gave is called Agamas. Okay, the complete work of Paramashiva, where he presents detailed, elaborate materials with high quality precision about how to attain the ultimate, how to reach him. Okay, so yoga is actually the Hindu Shastra. That means the source is from Hinduism. Okay, and the originator of yoga is obviously Sadashiva himself or Paramashiva himself. So let me just talk about these 6 limbs. Okay, so if all of you have been familiar with the Sanskrit, asana is the posture, the physical posture itself. Pranayama is the different breathing technique. Okay, and then pratyahara, which is withdrawing the 5 senses and turning the energy inwards. Dharana is concentration on some object or certain thought current. Dhyana is meditation, and Samadhi. So these are the 6 limbs, okay? So obviously we always start with asanas, because asana is the start for purification of your gross body, right? Then you proceed into different limbs, okay? So at some point in time, all the 6 will be practiced simultaneously, okay? But when someone starts, they always start with asana first, because they need to purify the body. So now, see, a lot of the yoga out there maybe can give you up to the first 2 limbs, asana and pranayama, maybe a little bit of pratyahara, not so much, okay? But with this Sastanga Yoga, the authentic yoga from Paramashiva, Swamiji say that you can no need to have any lifestyle changes in the first 2 limbs, right? You can still be non-veg, you can do whatever you want. But when you start to want to experience Samadhi, the whole 6 limbs of yoga, you need to make some lifestyle changes. You cannot be a non-veg, okay? Because the whole progression of the purity of the energy needs to facilitate the higher consciousness, right? So that's why many people, like the commercialized yoga, they can't do the purest form of yoga as per Paramashiva, because they need to make a lot of lifestyle changes. They need to go back to the scriptures, understand? So, and Swamiji said that after the first 2 limbs, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi, these 4 last 4, when you practice them together, it's called Samyama. You've done a lot of Samyama. It says Samyama can only happen when you start doing the last few limbs, okay? Samyama can only be practiced people who are real seeker, because you have to give up quite a lot of things, and also align in terms of lifestyle to a sattvic lifestyle, not rajasic nor tamasic lifestyle. You need to align to a more space of sattva, either from diet, your thought current, and your words and action. Everything you do needs to be aligned, so that you can start purifying yourself to, or detox yourself to align to the highest state of consciousness. Understand? So today we're going to practice Samadhi through the technique that Swamiji is giving. Okay? Let's move to the next slide. So what exactly is Samadhi? Sama means falling in tune. Adi means original source, the origin. Okay? So when people say Samadhi, means you're falling in tune with the source. So vibrating in the same frequency as the origin, from which you originated, from where you came from. That is Samadhi. That means get back to your original state. Next slide. So here's a Shastra Pramana taken from Kirana Agama, which is what Swamiji gave in the Ashtanga Yoga. He says that through the practice of yoga, one can attain beneficent accomplishment. He can attain liberation. He can ascend to the state of ineffable bliss, that means Samadhi. Okay, in Samadhi, you're in that whole Ananda state, bliss. Okay, next. So from the Atta Pramana by Yoga Sutra Patanjali, so he says Samadhi Siddhihi Ishvara Pranidhana. Okay, means through the sacrificing of all to Ishvara. Ishvara means whatever you relate as God comes Samadhi. Surrendering whatever to that which you think as God to you comes Samadhi. You need to understand that divine appear to the level you relate with it. Okay, so that means as what Krishna say, I will come in the whatever form you connect with me. Let's say you connect to the divine in the form of Ganesha, then he will appear in that form. If you connect with the form of Devi, that form, it will be the door you connect. Understand? Form to the formless. Ultimately, the source is formless. But initially, you may need to connect with some form in order to open the door for you to jump to the formless. You cannot straightway jump to the formless because your mind cannot handle formless. Your mind is only capable of having a form. Okay? because we're still in the form. When you're in form, you only relate with form initially. Okay, so getting back to the original state of a leader is samadhi. Understand? In samadhi, you are in the leadership consciousness. Isharatva. Isharatva means leadership consciousness. So Ishara means to which leads you to samadhi. Okay, next slide. I continue. So basically, from this sutra, Apta Pramana, from this Yoga Sutra, he says that there are three states depending on where you are right now. Okay, if you are in the gross plane, that means you are only mostly on the body. You only see yourself mainly body. Like you feel that 80% of your awareness is body. Okay, so in this case, Ishvara for you will be deity, because deity is the form. Okay, you will connect with it. Spend all your time worshipping the deity if you are in the very form driven. Okay, whereas for the next type people, okay, so those who are in a physical body where you relate more about at least 51% of awareness, most of the time you're feeling that you're this body, then deity worship is for you. Okay, now the next level, people who feel that you're more than 50% time with the mind, and sometimes you feel joy, suffering, like very mind centric, right? Mental identity based. Okay, then you are established more in the state of mind. So then for that, the truth, teachings, listening to the teachings of the master, reading the scriptures, the sacred text is Ishvara for you. Understand? So teaching becomes Ishvara for you for the mind-centric people. So the God words that has been, what I call that, spoken too much, right? Basically it says that let me retain the original word Ishvara. Okay, so basically Ishvara is the original, so he doesn't want to use the word God. Okay, God has been too much abused by the many other religion or things like that. So he said Ishvara is the original Sanskrit word. So basically, if you're mind-centric, then teachings, scriptures become your Ishvara. Okay. Now, then the final type of person who is driven at the being level, meaning what? You feel that you're neither the body nor the mind. You feel sometimes you have this reasonless suffering or reasonless joy, and you're searching to something more. Okay, so those people, basically you are the being centric. You're driven at the being level. So in this case, surrendering to the master or incarnation will lead you to samadhi. Okay, I don't know which level you relate. For me, I'm very sure I'm being level. that's why for me I can only surrender to Swamiji Guru. Okay, so whichever level you are now, the surrendering of so-called Ishvara is where it will lead you to samadhi. Okay, next, let's look at the next slide. So now there's another sutra taken from Yoga Sutra Patanjali, basically Sutra 109, chapter 3, verse 3. He says, when that dhyana gives up all forms and reveal only the meaning is samadhi. Okay, so the only difference between dhyana, you see the fifth and the sixth limbs, okay, dhyana and samadhi. Dhyana means meditation. So Swamiji revealed this sacred secret from the cosmos. Okay, he says that in dhyana meditation, the mind and the object lose its name, its form into a certain frequency. So when you meditate, right, it loses its boundary and it loses its frequency, which is beyond the mind. And the object meditated upon, let's say you're meditating on something, whatever object, so the whole thing get blurred. So in samadhi, not only they lose the form, even the stuff out of which both are made of also lose its form, name, frequency, and dissolve into a higher space. That is called samadhi, that higher space. Everything dissolved, okay? And in that resolution, that whole dissolution, okay, you enter into the zone there's no return. That means you basically go to that zone where there's no return, you just know. See, when you are in dhyana, any lower state, there's still a possibility of returning. But in Samadhi, there's no question you can return. You will be in the altered state of consciousness. Understand? Once you experience Samadhi. Understand? Okay. So next slide. So today we're going to do this meditation. This meditation is called Aham Brahmasmi. Means I'm Brahman. I'm the Brahman. I'm the Absolute. I'm all that. Okay? That means it's taken from Upanishad. Okay? Basically from this Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Okay? There are many types of Upanishad, but this is taken from this. I'm the Absolute. And so it says from the Upanishad, it says, in the beginning the world was only Brahman. Brahman means the Absolute, right? Which is the source, Paramashiva. And it knew only itself, Atman, thinking, I'm Brahman. As a result, I became the whole, right? So he says that this Upanishad, which is downloaded by Rishi, says that if a man knows I'm Brahman, I'm the Absolute, in this way, he becomes the whole world. Not even the gods are able to prevent it, for he becomes the very self, Atman. Okay? So when you are established in that I am the Absolute, okay, Aham Brahmasmi, you reach that stage of the ultimate, and you're in that direct space of oneness with the source, which is Paramashiva. So today's meditation is going to give you the experience of that oneness. Okay? Next slide. So I'm going to describe now, briefly mention the technique, then I'll guide you into it. Okay? So this is just to give you an idea before we enter into the whole process. Okay? So you will be settled into any meditative posture comfortably with the eyes closed. If you can, wear the eye band. You can distribute eye band now. This Govina reprint. So now be aware all that is in you and outside. It means first you're going to be aware of what is inside your body and what is outside your body. Okay, so start with yourself first. It means your body, your mind, your thoughts, your breathing, your feeling, your emotions, all the stuff that you can relate as you. Okay, so include them all in yourself, because a lot of time we try to reject. Okay, I don't want to think, that kind of thing. So in this meditation, you're including, you are embracing everything as part of you. Okay, so just remain unfocused and just flowing. So that is the first part. Then you will get into the awareness of your breath. Okay, your breath awareness and awareness of the fluid form of the body. That means your body, you start to feel like the body is fluid. Your body is not as solid as you think. Okay, so get to that state where you feel your body consciousness is not as solid as you think. Then when your eyes are still closed, you will become aware of your body subtly changes. The body starts changing. You feel, hey, how come the body is changing its form? The body is becoming heavy, becoming light, expansion, all kinds of things that's happening inside the body. Just bring awareness to it, okay? So only idea is that you're not aware. I mean, see, let your awareness be the only thing conscious. Let whatever changes that happen, it just flow with it, okay? Next slide. So then drop any idea of separation. If you feel, oh, I feel separated from this, I feel separated. No, just drop all ideas of separation, okay? You need to feel inclusive. This whole meditation is of including everything that you feel inside and outside of you. So be inclusive and feel yourself expanding, expanding everything in your being. Your whole being is going to expand so much that you just embrace the whole. Understand? So don't say that I'm not, just say instead I am. Okay? Don't say I'm not this body, I'm not this. No, you are everything. Just swallow the whole thing. Okay? So slowly you will start to feel that there is no center in you. There's no center, then where's the ego? The ego has to, because see how ego sustain its existence is when you feel separate, when you have the idea of separation, okay, then the ego exists. The ego is solid. When you include everything, then the ego will start to lose its relevance, its power over you. So Swami said that the ego needs the sense of separateness, right? Whereas in all-inclusiveness, where there's space or place for the ego, when you're including everything, ego cannot feel separate anymore. So it has to die. It has to dissolve into nothingness. Understand? So that is the whole crux of this meditation. Include everything. Don't allow the mind to say, hey, this is not you are, this is, judging. When you start judging, criticizing, you're separating. Okay? So that is the whole thing. So with ego gone, only consciousness remains. Consciousness, the only thing that is eternal and can only hold. Okay? And that's the last slide. Okay. Are you all ready to get into the meditation? I'm going to set the timer for 21 minutes. So please wear an eyeband now. Get into the comfortable meditative posture, whether it's Sukhasana, Padmasana, whatever posture you feel comfortable in sitting for the next 21 minutes. Okay? Now, with the eyes closed, become aware of what is inside of you and outside. So begin with yourself. Awareness of your body, your mind, your thought currents, your breathing, your feelings right now, whatever feeling you may be having. Include all in yourself. Don't try to reject, try to suppress. Just remain unfocused. Allow the whole thing to flow inside you. Take a few moments to establish this space of inclusiveness within yourself. No judgment, no criticism. Bring awareness to your breathing. Be aware of the fluid form of the body. See your body as fluid. Liquid. If you understand that everything, the base unit of life is prana, the life force, the life energy. Whatever you are embodying is prana, a different frequency. You understand that everything is not solid, it is fluid. Become aware that your body is subtly changing, not only just shape, form, even whether you feel heavy or light with the body, and feel your body expands and shrinks. Just bring awareness to the changes that is happening at the gross body level. The Stula Sharira. Understand when you're in a hostile or frightened environment, you feel the separateness, isolation. You feel shrinking feeling. So, on the other hand, when you feel joyful, loving, flowing, you feel as if you are filling the whole entire space or the room. When you're inclusive, you can feel yourself expanding as well. So, start including everything in your being. Whatever that comes to your awareness, include it. Don't say I'm not. Instead, say I am. Just have this awareness that I am. Everything is part of me. In that expansion, you will start to feel that there is no center within you. Only consciousness remains. The consciousness that extends to include everything, the sky, everything to become part of you. Include even the sunrise, the sun, everything which is happening in you. The smell, the breeze, the tree, the rocks, the stars, the entire cosmos. See all within you. Meditate on the idea I am. And allow yourself to dissolve into everything. Keep expanding, include everything. Let all of you expand to experience I am the Absolute, Aham Brahmasmi. All right, settle down from the high energy zone. The zone of consciousness, Samadhi, back to the space of your body, your breath awareness. Come back now. Take a few more minutes to settle back. All right, when you're ready, you can remove your eye band. "21 minutes meditation, pretty short. If you have time to do it on your own, try to sit at least 2 energy cycles, 42 minutes, and see what happens. Okay, so how was that meditation? Anyone want to share? Anyone from the online, Zoom? How was it? Do you experience I'm the absolute? Okay, how many of you experienced expansion? Like you suddenly become so big? Yes? You experience expansion? Yes, good. How many also experience that you lose body consciousness? How many of you experience body consciousness? Like you go beyond this body consciousness? Okay, great. How many of you see Swamiji? It was there. Oh, hello. You're here only. Okay, so anyone want to share your experience? From the online Zoom, you can unmute yourself. Do you enjoy the meditation? Give me a thumbs up if you enjoy the meditation. Nice space, right? I was like, 好像很短啊，我还要 stay there some more. But then the timer is going to sound quite soon. Okay, who wants to share? We have a few sharing, and then we can close the session. Who wants to share?
Is it natural to feel hot?
Of course. So much energy. I also feel hot. I lowered the temperature of the aircon here. It's like, normally it's like, yeah, you feel hot. A lot of heat, a lot of energy. You felt hot? Huh? Why? You felt very hot?
Very hot. I still have the fan on, but I still can feel the heat.
Yeah, it's hot. Besides hot, hot and spicy, what else?
I was able to. I kept telling myself that I am Brahmasmi, and I start to absorb everything into me. And that's when I feel a bit of an expansion. But then I think my concentration broke halfway.
Your what halfway? Sorry?
Concentration broke halfway, and then
okay.
I came out of it already. So yeah.
Just need to train. You see, this meditation today, you learn the technique. You can do it on your own after your yoga morning. Just sit 21 minutes and be in that space. You can try this technique for the next 21 days and just sit. Somebody said, all you need is just sit 21 minutes per day after your yoga, because the yoga prepares the body and your inner space to enter into Samadhi. So do it after yoga. It's the best time. This is my experience as well. So today is only the first round. You're expanding. At least you get a hang of how to do it, so you can do it yourself. Anyone else want to share? What else? Today I saw some, even Apasanya, Jnana. Welcome, Ma. You from Europe? Or? First time seeing you here. Okay, who else want to share? Jane, you want to share?
I felt emptiness again, and expansion, and didn't feel myself.
That's great. See, going beyond this confine of this limited body and mind, when you exit this body, you will have no attachment. You will not be feeling missing this body. So that's why when you had something like this kind of altered state of consciousness, right, while you're still in the body, when the time comes when, at the time of death or whatever, you will not feel uneasy. You feel like you'll be able to flow through it and just transition blissfully. That's why Swamiji said that when you're in the body, discover your consciousness. Spend time to raise your consciousness where you experience, the real you. So at the time of exiting this body, you will not be frightened or shaken. You will just be so comfortable and just say, I've been there. This very familiar space. Now, okay, come on, let's go. Party time. So you will be like, okay, now I'm going on the next journey, next possibility. So no hangover from this old body, and it's like, what am I going to do? That kind of thing. Okay, great. Who else want to share? Tumaya, you have anything to share?
Oh, yes, why not? I found out already at the beginning when you were mentioning like to include everything, not to exclude, that I'm more comfortable with excluding. So including was a little bit difficult at the beginning, but then I focused on the positive things and positive experiences which I want to be. So I included them, and then I moved to the so-called, let's say, not wanted things. Mm-hmm. And then towards the end of the meditation, just really nice visualization came that I think it's like the proton, electron, how like they spin around each other, and that's kind of like the energy that is the basic stuff, the basic material for everything. So I could relate with that, with more abstract things. It was really nice.
Hey, are you trained as a physicist or some kind of chemist? No, going to the level of chemistry?
No.
Photons and all that.
No, but actually I love science. That's the thing. Like I love science, but I like it more in the way that is connected to spirituality, not the modern day science. And I love the logical things, and also, yeah, I really like that those kind of angle. Was really beautiful.
Thank you for sharing. Wow, interesting. See how you experience the world. Your experience is driven by what you enjoy. He will just bring you to, for her case, at the atomic level. That means it's like atoms, at the basic structure of life. So fascinating. Okay, anyone here want to share? Huh? Anyone want to share here?
I actually went on to a space travel. I went to space and I went to various places.
Different locales.
I think it should be still in Earth. So I went to space, correct. And also so I'm actually floating. It's not like floating. The vision is a very wide vision. I'm not sure if it's 360, but I saw a very wide vision.
Yes, your vision expanded because you're including everything. See, when our mind is trained to exclude, so it narrows our vision also. That is how we limit ourselves. When we connect to the true state of us, all-inclusiveness, you suddenly see the whole cosmos, the whole cosmos inside you. I don't know how many of you saw the whole cosmos inside you. I saw, right? Yeah, I saw the whole cosmos inside me. Woo! Yeah. So when you start including, you see, you just expand. Your whole inner space no longer is this like dark screen. It just includes so many things out there in the entire, galaxy.
Planets.
Planets. Everything just become part of you. Great. So that was a nice experience. Be able to travel. See, this is the state where you start moving to vertical time zone. the expansion is how you start traveling. That's why somebody say practice samadhi. When you practice samadhi, you start elevating, tung, 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 chung, like rocket, pew, to different places. So, but before getting to the samadhi, there's a lot of preparation work we need to do. It means, your yoga, your diet, everything needs to align so that you can start. Of course, the initiation by Guru also helps to put you into that space quickly. So, because all of us are connected to him and he's already in that very high space. So, when you're connecting with him, it's easier, and especially you're in energy field. Don't think that it's only in the Adinam. When you're connected to the space, even in online, when you're sitting through this whole space where I'm holding all of you together, you also get to experience that space. Okay, so it's beyond time and space. That means it's not just physical space here, but it's the space where we all connect, from the ideological level. That means ideologically you are connected to one big idea of I'm the absolute. So in that connection of the collective consciousness, we enter into that zone. Understand? So it doesn't matter where you are. It can be in USA, it can be in India, it can be in Europe, it can be in Singapore. Doesn't matter. It is that space that we're all entering into. Great. Any more sharing from the online? Otherwise, okay, I saw some notes. Wait, let me just take notes. Because some of you prefer to type. Okay, so make sure you say, I feel more relaxed than before I couldn't do this. Now I can feel Brahmasmi easily. I also can feel Madhuka blowing at us. Yes, I blew. How many of you felt when I blew the prana into all of you? How many of you felt the prana? Yes. Oh, no worries. Okay. So great. So this Anandata was asking what's the difference between dhyana and samadhi. Oh, I explained that in one of the slides, if you still remember. Okay, dhyana is meditation, right? Meditation. So first, the different limbs, let's recap a little bit so we will want to understand. See, after pranayama, when you purify your prana, that means your nadis, okay? Your nadis get purified. That means your whole space, your mind, everything is right for withdrawing your senses into the inside, your inner space, okay? Which is what we call pratyahara. Pratyahara is the third limb, okay? Which means withdrawing from your energy outside, because constantly we're just outside, right? We are focusing our energy outside. So now, this whole yoga is, first you need to withdraw from the five senses and go inside your inner world, okay? So pratyahara. Then when you are in that pratyahara, that means everything is inside, awareness is inside, you enter into dharana. Dharana means, in a loose translation, it's called concentration, but it's not just pure concentration. It's just focusing on one thought, one idea. Let's say in this case is, I'm the absolute, I am, right? So that is the whole one thought current. In that one thought current, when you're meditating on that, after a while, the mind will break. That means you start losing the boundary of the form, everything. You just expand, or just the boundary where you cognize, your brain or your mind cognize as separate in that one thought current, start losing its form, its boundary, everything. So it just dissolves, okay? In that dissolution, you enter into dhyana. Dhyana. That means you feel that oneness with that meditating on that. You're in that one idea. Okay. Now, after a while, when you are in that meditation, everything loses its boundary, and you just enter into samadhi. That's one absolute space. That is the final state, samadhi. Of course, there are many different expansion of samadhi, many different types of samadhi, but that space of oneness is called samadhi. Okay, so I hope I answer your question, Anandata. Yes. Okay. All right. So with that, if there's no more sharing, we'll conclude. You can share in the group so that we can, if some of you didn't get a chance to share because still in the high energy zone or still trying to settle back into this.
You can explain into, like, not myself, right? But it's, I don't know, I just feel I explain into some, the long hair. But I know it's me.
Yeah, you can. All kinds of things can happen when you're in the expansion. Great. So do share in your group if you didn't get a chance to voice up today. So with that, let me just conclude with the Purna mantra. So thank you all for joining in today's session. So join the palms together in Amanjali Mudra. Let's conclude. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sovam Bhagavad Shri Nityananda Paramashiva Parga Paramasu. Om Nityanandam. Thank you, Nityanandam. Okay.